Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Anse in St. Lucia. St. Lucia is located in the Caribbean, and it's a really beautiful island. It is a big tourist island nowadays. They've added all kinds of various activities all over the island for tourists to come and explore. And Anse is no exception. For the most part, it's very forested and mountainous, but it does have very beautiful beaches and coastal towns. And whenever I was researching this area, I would type in Anse and it would autofill Anse fish fry. And I kept trying to find things that weren't about the fish fry, but it kept redirecting me to videos and resources and recommendations about the Anse fish fry. So clearly they want that out there for not just tourists, but I guess everyone to know that on Friday nights you can go to Anse and have a very delicious fish fry. But this region actually has a little bit of an interesting history. If you know your St. Lucia history, this island went back and forth between the French and the British. I would say it was mostly a French island for the most part, but the British got it for long enough and they've had it. Well, they did have it from the early 1800s, I think. Post-Napoleon, they had it. And during Napoleon, they took it. And it's gained independence since then, but it is an English-speaking island because of that. The French built many sugar plantations in this area here, mostly along here. And of course, to work those plantations, they took kidnapped Africans to work those. But that changed pretty quickly, actually during the French Revolution. Almost overnight, once news that the monarchy was overthrown and a revolution was in full swing over in Europe, there was a big revolt. All the slaves were freed or escaped, and they burned down all the plantations. And for a minute, they renamed the town L'Égalité, which means equality in French, and was one of the 3 tenets of the French Revolution. Obviously, things calmed down a bit post-revolution and after the British took over, but those plantations were never rebuilt. And from what I could tell, slavery was never reinstated because the British Empire would abolish slavery in the years, not long after they took control of the island. So, pretty cool, I think. The only other news that I found about this area here in particular were a couple of hurricanes that hit in 1780 and 1817. That really devastated the area, as hurricanes do, but for the most part, all that I can find is that this area grows a lot of tropical fruits and, of course, the fish fry. So, it's just a little corner of a little country with a little history. So let's check it out on Google Earth. Let me pull it up for you. And I'll show you exactly where St. Lucia is located if you don't know. It is a very tiny island, so that's to be expected. I have the waterfalls selected here because they're not demarcated on Google Earth, so I had to secure it to show you. So here we have the Caribbean. So you can see there's Cuba, there's Hispaniola, and then the islands make a curve over toward South America here. So this island chain is known as the Windward Islands. If I'm correct, I feel like I'm wrong. Oh, the Windward Islands. There's the Windward, the Leeward, and so on and so forth. It's in the chain of the Windward Islands. So you can see how it makes a very distinct shape there with these underground mountains. Underwater mountains. And here you can see is the Anse district. The capital, Castries, is just up here. I keep getting thrown off because I see this town called Rousseau, and that's the capital of Dominica, which is not too far away. And I keep thinking, oh, the capital's right there, but no, we're not on Dominica, we're on St. Lucia. But yeah. So let's check out these waterfalls while I have them selected. Uh-oh. Well, I had them selected. See, like they don't pop up. I have to search them. Well, I tried. There we go. Because one of the big tourist attractions here is apparently hiking to these waterfalls, and you can see why. It's so pretty. Look at that. Look how scenic, and the little pool at the bottom that I'm sure is crystal clear and probably kind of warm, and would be fun to dip your toes in. There's the hiking trail. And beautiful rapids crashing down. They don't look like they'd be very loud, but obviously they'd make some nice relaxing waterfall sounds. Probably very good for ASMR. If anyone wants to go do some live ASMR, it does look a little louder. Yeah, see, enjoying the nice pool. I bet that water feels fantastic. But you can also see what the greenery looks like and the beautiful flowers and everything on this island. It is just a little tropical paradise. It's a place I really want to go someday. Apparently St. Lucia's tourism board pays attention to YouTubers who talk about them and give them free trips, so anytime, just hit me up. I'll gladly go. Gladly. Let's start at the coast and work our way up into the mountains. There's a big town there called Canaries, which that's kind of cute, but there's not a lot of pictures there. We are going to look at Anse. There it is. Little fishing village here. The nice, beautiful natural harbor. And let's see if I can get the town up there. No? Okay. Let's type it in again. Anse. One second. Anse. There we go. So I can show you this beautiful beach and natural harbor. Every resource I read described this as a fishing village, so I assume everyone here gets up at dawn and goes out on their boats and fishes in the beautiful Pacific. Waterfalls, we'll look at those in a second. Yeah, look how pleasant. A nice beach, not like a tourist beach, you know, not like get your beach towel, build some sand castles, enjoy the water, but like you could, right? Some of the more traditional homes here. Very, very colorful and bright. It's just a little quiet corner. Beautiful, colorful boats, too. You can go out and look at the endless Pacific there. I was watching a video about how flooding becomes an issue here. So they dug out a channel here around these mangrove trees so that when it rains, all of the water will collect here at the mangroves, which love to soak up water, and then it can just flow out into the ocean to spare this little town from flooding when it rains. Because being in the Caribbean, you can imagine that it rains quite a lot. Now let's go and look at the little towns, the little houses. Let's look at these sugar mills. Like I said, they are destroyed, absorbed back into the wilderness after they were burned down. Oops. can see the stone walls there. All that's left of this place. A big chimney there, I think. Here's another. I guess there were a couple hundred, but I guess these are the ones Google Earth is showing me that you can go hike and see what's left of them. But just imagine like all the different plantations in these hills here. This is another beautiful little waterfall up here. I really like the little steps. I wonder, I'm pretty sure those are man-made because they're almost too perfect. And they must have been designed so that you can sit there and feel the water splashing down on your head. Beautiful flowers too. So nice. But yeah, everything in St. Lucia is pretty tailored to tourism. But from what I've seen of St. Lucia, it's not like it's like kitschy and tacky. It's all very well organized and still try to keep that local like culture and concepts. Oh yeah, you have to call the number to go to this waterfall. I think there's another sign over here. How nice. Yes, it is private property. You have to pay $10 to see the waterfall, and it's by owner's order. Avoid embarrassment. So you have to pay $10 to go to these waterfalls. Which, fair, if it's on private property, that makes perfect sense. Now, there's not a lot of other pictures to show you here, because, oops, as you can see, it's just dense rainforest. Well, I don't know if it's even rainforest, tropical forest. I'm sure it gets a lot of rain, but I don't know if it's a rainforest per se. I imagine there's all kinds of incredible hiking trails and adventures up here. But I'm going to end it on this slideshow here of the Millet Bird Sanctuary and Nature Trail. Let's look through. How pretty. Oh my gosh. How lovely. You can see the mountains. The mountains pick up just in the center area and escalate up to Mount Jimmy, the highest point. So thank you so much for watching. Look at this guy. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and if you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing, as this is an ongoing series on my channel. Next, we're going to head over to a completely different environment in Eritrea. Not a lot of trees, not a lot of water, very dry, deserty, but with all the interesting things that come with dry, deserty areas, like wildlife and mountains and things. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. You don't want to be crabby if you miss it. Look at this little friend. I hope that you have a good night. Good night.